Go on and enjoy your retirement. Well, for years I knew I really should write a book about Jesus because ever since I was a young priest, I always tried to make Jesus the focus of my life as a priest. How would Jesus treat these people? What would Jesus do? And so on. It was my whole life. And I never really wanted to become pastor because I knew if I became pastor, I was going to get in a lot of trouble. Because I would always be asking myself, well, how would Jesus treat people in these situations? And I said, when I started to write this book, I started to write it really in a way that I could be proud of it. And then I got about 50 pages done, and I read it over. I said, no one's going to read this except book reviewers, and who gives a damn what they think anyway? So then I decided to write the book so simply that old people losing their powers could read it, and little children could read it. And the interesting thing was, the very first phone call that I got after that book was published was from a nun who had been a Poor Clare nun for 65 years in a cloistered monastery. And she said, "Father, you're the one who wrote Joshua?" I said, "Yes, sister." She said, "Father, I have to tell you, after I read Joshua, it was the first time my whole life, I'm 93 years old now, first time my whole life that I felt comfortable being a Catholic." And the second phone call I got was from 5 little children in the 6th grade one Saturday morning. And they said, "This Father Girzone?" I said, "Yes." They said, "Well, there are 5 of us. We're in the 6th grade. We all read Joshua. We fell in love with Jesus." And she hangs up. And I had 1,000 questions I wanted to ask her. But I was so happy that I wrote that book so simply that these 5 little girls in the 6th grade fell in love with Jesus after they read it. So I'm glad that I wrote the book so simply. When I was getting at the end of Joshua, I started getting scared. Because I was becoming convinced that I was supposed to write that book, and when I wrote that book, that was the end. I got a card from a Protestant lady who lived in the parish, and the card said, "Congratulations on your new ministry." And I called her up. I said, "No, I'm retiring." She said, "No, you're not. You have a new ministry. It's going to be worldwide." It makes them feel comfortable with themselves and their relationship with God. I think everybody, no matter who we are or what we are, we struggle with guilt. How does God really feel about me? No matter whether they're Christians or no matter what they are, I'll never forget when the book first, whatever's in it, it's hidden from me. All I know is I wrote the book to try to make Jesus real. I think what it does, it heals people. I don't know how. I got a letter just the other day. This fellow had been a drug addict for years. He read Joshua, and he said, "I have been drug-free, addiction-free for a month and a half now." And he said, as soon as I finished the book, I stopped taking the drugs. He said, "I've been drug-free ever since." And I got thousands of letters with the same. I don't know what it does to people. It's not important for me to know what it does to people. I just as soon not know. Someone estimated once there's probably at least 40 million Americans alone who've read it. Yeah. Because every time someone goes someplace, they always come back, "Oh, I met about 5 or 6 people that read your book."
And people have seen the film.
I see them, yeah. So who knows? I don't. It doesn't do me any good to look into those kind of things. It's not healthy.
It must be a lot to think about the 25 years that have passed since.
It's been an adventure. Yeah.